Morning and welcome to MuscleModelCars.com. This is AJ giving you a update of what we're doing toward the end of our project of dealing with the military tributes that we have to the armed services. We have done the Army, then we went to the Air Force, and last week it was the Navy, and this week it's the Marines. So this is what I have for you here. This is a 1967 Chevy Impala. Okay, this is a four-door, but there also is a Chevy SS 67. If you look on the website, you'll see the different specs on it for that particular engine. What we had done was gave it a black coat paint with the Marines. I don't know if you're familiar with the history of the Marines, but they were basically part of the Navy. And what happens is that they are the support system of the battleships and the Navy, Department of the Navy, and the armed forces that kind of keeps the peace. They're sort of like on the water, they're the police for the ship to keep any type of mutiny, anybody trying to take over the ship and have it go somewhere else. That's one of their functions. The Navy has quite a bit to do around the world, and the Marines sort of like keep the peace for them to be able to do that on the water. And on top of that, the Navy is practically, I would say, along with the Coast Guards, and then you got the Navy dealing with special ops and things like that. Navy SEALs, you've heard of that. But this was a tribute to all of them. I kept it in a dark color, sort of like camouflaged. You see the brown here on the hood. I did this in a brown for like if you're looking at it from the air and it's dim outside, dark, you wouldn't be able to see it. I'll show it to you on the vehicle in a minute, but basically it was done in black. The colors I used here was the blue and the gold. And if you see the insignia of the Marines, which is on the top up here, you won't be able to see it that good because it's a black body, okay. But it has the gold around the crest, and then you have the red, okay. That's also within it, and then the blue, what's in it, and the gold is around it. So if I could take it and show it, I will in a minute, but and I'm gonna try to do it without tearing the car up. But anyway, let's tell you about it a bit. Okay, we got a V8 engine in here. Okay, it's pretty much normal, but look, it doesn't have the visual muscle, but this is sort of a pretty hefty V8 engine that was installed in these particular SS's, and this is a four-door. So the SS, the Super Sport, was a two-door, but it had the V8 in there, and they came that way. And the engines, some of them back in the 60s, they put the engine in the rear, actually. That was a fun fact that I didn't know. But basically, these engines were powerful for V8. If I can recall, it was I want to say a There's a 155 horsepower, but I want to know what the cubic inch was. I have posted it, um, and if you give me 1 second, I'm gonna see what it was with this thing here. We will try to find it real quick, and because I really wanted you guys to know what it was like. Let's go with projects. If you look on the website, this is the Marines logo. That's what's on top of the hood here. You won't be able to see it right now, but because of the color of the vehicle. But that's the crest there, and that's what's on the top up here. And this being with the Marines, I consider it undercover. They kind of give you a camouflaged look. That's what I really wanted to do. And then I want to do projects. Let's see. I want to give you the current build, which is right here. Okay. If you went online, you'd see that that's what this is. This is what the kit would be if you did it regular. But I kind of created it on my own. And it says that the 67 Chevy Impala debuted in 1956 as a concept car and is a very rare Chevy with less than 7,000 units ever produced. So only 7,000 ever produced. The car had two engine variants, meaning that it had two options, and it said that it was a 6 and an 8, okay, a 6-cylinder, the engine size, 6 cylinders or 8 cylinders, and then it had also you had the option of having it in the front or in the back, and it says that it was capable with the 6. It was 155 horsepower was on the speed as far as top speed, and 100 and capable of 195 horsepower with the V8. And this is a V8. And it said, in some variant, however, the Impala, this is also the Impala that if you ever watched the TV series, it was called Spiritual. Um, I think it was Supernatural. That's what it was. Okay, Dean drove a black 67. It's still on, I think. Maybe reruns or whatever, but it's called Supernatural, and he had a black one. Okay, and they kind of go through this whole thing, and the cars is however the Impala it drives as a V8, where all regular vehicles do. It is one of the classic sports cars from the 60s, which isn't just about luxury. So as you can see, it's not really luxurious and pretty, but it was a muscle car. Believe it or not, they came straight off the factory line like that with this type of muscle. Okay. It also says that the engine's power came with a 250 cubic inch turbo shift 6 and 283 cubic inch turbo fire V8 as a base model. So coming straight out the factory, it had 283 cubic inch turbo thrift 6. Okay. And a turbo fire V8 as a base model. The car itself had a 3-speed automatic gearbox, and then it says it also V8 weighed about 1,740 kilograms at the curb. It produces 385 bhp, 390 psi, 287 kW, which is, I do believe, kilowatts, whatever, of power. Yeah, yeah, because power is measured in watts, and so therefore kilowatts is the power that this thing produced straight off the line. Um, it came. It can manage a maximum speed of 280 kilometers per hour, which is about 130 miles per hour. Okay, so with that, we see also that the interior had the interior here. I did it. It was basic. Okay, and the interior features included an 8-track stereo player, fiber optic light monitoring system, and vacuum power doors and locks. So it had power locks. It said it had all vinyl upholstery inside. I painted it brown and black on the interior. The cushions itself were brown, and I painted the basic seats. They are bench seats in here, not bucket, and they were all vinyl in that particular model. And then it said it came in a range of colors. And initially, the all vinyl trim was offered solely in black. So it was solely in black. And if you go to the website, you'll see, if you can see on here, I got certain pictures that you can see the interior before I enclosed it right down here. And you can see the color of it right there on the website. That's just and the picture at the top there. That's of the rear of it. I painted the wheels and everything. I put red lights on the front up here, make it a little bit cooler, a cooler look. And I basically did things to kind of keep it as an optics kind of view. Right up here is the symbol for the Marines. It's a bird here. I'm gonna put it up here closer. Maybe you can see it a little bit closer. And then I did also I didn't put the lights that Dean had on it in the series of the Supernatural, but basically here's the vehicle itself. Marines on the back window, as you can see, and there's the crest right there, the logo of the Marines right there. It's not that necessarily that pretty. Now you see something that looks like an arrow right here. That's for special operations, special ops. And now, as I was saying, the Marines basically, to give you, let me let you see the engine too. Here's the engine. It's a V8. It looks pretty natural. It's not a whole big muscle show off, but this thing was quick and powerful. Okay, and what also basically this is the side view here. Looks pretty really nice from the side. And then the rear, here's the lights I was telling you about. Underneath, you can see the tailpipes coming. It's dual exhaust, okay? Right here, the pipes coming from underneath. Kind of show it to you a little bit. It looks under there. Basically, the Marines were, they kept the peace, and they were amphibious, meaning that they operated in the water, and they were the Navy's, I guess, infantry. Okay, you could put it that way. So they did water and land. They before the Navy, because they couldn't pull an aircraft carrier or a battleship up to the to land, because of course it'd run aground for being so huge. So they had to have the Marines that were part of the Navy that would do the infantry part. With infantry meaning soldier on land, okay, but they were amphibious. So you got the Navy SEALs, you got the um, I guess special ops to go rescue people, black ops, all of that. You dealing with the Navy, they're pretty deep with it. So I made it in black. I wanted to do a nice black color. I wanted to keep it kind of. I was gonna do this a different way, but I'll save that for something else. But this here interior, you see the brown. cushion seats and the outward black vinyl seats that are in here. Dual mirrors on both sides so you can see the enemy in your rear. You're always in front of the enemy. You always want to be faster than your enemy. So, and then we got these here uh, wheels here I put on to give it a little bit of flavor. You know, I, they gave me in the kit just regular 60s. Okay, but I bumped it up with another set that I had with another kit that were spares that I used for. I used the same rims, but I used a different wider, which these would have been considered 70s on a real car, and these were. I'm sorry, not 70s. These were considered 60s here. These were 70s. Okay, and 50s are a little bit wider, but these have treads on them. Okay, and they are wide oval, they call them. And inside here, like I said, you got all your connections, your hoses, and everything, showing you everything up there. The water container, and all your wiring and stuff back all the way back to the firewall back under here. Okay, I painted the flashers underneath here. I gave it a cool look with the red lights to kind of blend in with the side we have right here. If you saw this one coming, you knew that this Marine meant business here. Okay. Um, there's here special ops. There are different ones. I had a ghost was go for ghost operations, but there are so many different ways this thing could have went, and stickers that and emblems, and for all the U.S. Special Forces and all of that stuff that we have, that I could not put it all on here. It just suffices to let you know that this thing here is very this country has a very good amount of military protection and on different branches of government, and some that we don't even know about. The black ops and things like that. You don't know who they are, where they are, and where they're going to be going. But I guess if you kind of had one of these, there are a lot of different ways you can go with the way it looks. Um, it took me not long with this particular one. It's just that I like the weight of it as far as the length of it and the amount of parts in it wasn't too many, wasn't too few, um, and it was very uh, creative. Juices started to flow with it. So this would have been this is an arrow. You can't see it on here, but it's an arrow colored in red with a black uh, lightning bolt through it. I did it this way because, again, undercover is for the special forces and everything. No one's supposed to know who you are. So if it blends in with the body, nobody can really see it from the air under camouflage with the I want to say with the brown, green, and black are all nature type colors. Okay, and they're very hard to when someone's in the air, helicopters or whatever, looking for a vehicle or somebody in a vehicle. I wouldn't have this on here, but I did this one because this would be something that would be I would put in the streets to let freedom ring. Okay, that's what I'm really about with this is let freedom ring. That's what this country is about: freedom, freedom of choice, freedom of the press, irregardless of your political views or whatever. Freedom should always ring through whatever. Nobody should be obligated to do anything or whatever, and that's what we fight for. Okay, so we also have a let's see, what else did I do to this? There was not a whole lot with this, other than the fact that I put the Marine logo in the window and Marines, and it reads here, the few and the proud. That's the Marines. That's their motto. Okay, so with that, I'm going to give you a quick view. I could take the interior off. Maybe I will. See if I can get it for you. There we go. Kind of let you see it with it off. And then, as you can see, we kind of did the engine right there. Very nice. We did it basic to keep it in. You don't want too much flash and too much color when you're undercover in the woods, in the forest, fighting, trying to rescue somebody or trying to fight a war. So I kept everything basic color and wanted to get it to a point where the interior was also basic in color, so it'd be hard to see in dim light or dark light. In the military, everything is about camouflage and cover, concealment, and nobody knowing you're there. If you're going to rescue somebody, if you're going to attack, if you're going to defend, or if you try to, I guess, not run, but to hide out for a sneak attack or whatever, the colors you wear. If you look at all the military suits, even in the Navy, the Air Force, the Army, they have what's called fatigues, and they're camouflaged. Okay, and camouflage just simply means that you have a color. Your colors are blend in with your surrounding, sort of like a chameleon. You know, that lizard that kind of changes colors depending upon the environment. So that's pretty much what this was all about. As I was saying, I did the hood a different way. I made that brown, dirty. It's kind of a dirty brown, I call it. But this is gonna be tricky here. I'm gonna get this back on hopefully without destroying this thing, because as usual, y'all know me. Things I always try to give y'all a view before I do it. But as you can see in here, you got the steering wheel. You can see the color I used right there. You see there's no stick in this particular one. What you have is the gear right up here. It's an automatic, and you got your neutral, reverse. All of that is right up here on this lever right here. It's just like a regular car. Okay. It's just happening. You see that little stem right there. That's sort of like what you pull down to do the adjustments or whatever. Okay, so that's one thing. Then we have, as I said before, underneath we kept it basic, simple, dark in color, not too flashy, so it'd be hard to see in the dark. So we kind of just did it in basic colors and did it that way. Okay, and we're going to try to see, of course, with this particular one, the radiator we had and the firewall is on here. As you can see, the back firewall. Okay, and then you have the where is it? The radiator and the hoses we attached here. Okay, and we just let them sit there because I know I was going to be taking it off to show you. But these hoses will be glued to the engine, part up here, to the front of the engine, because you got the intake water hose and the outtake. Okay, and we got that. Okay, and then I'll show you how it looks with the hood, and we'll be through with this particular one. You move this stuff too much, and it's going to be very, very hard to keep it from being messy. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you with the hood on, and I'm gonna leave it alone because this thing here gets mad real quick. These kits don't play, and I'll get it back on. But what I'm going to try to show you is how it would look with the hood. Okay, then we're gonna call it a day. We'll call it complete. We'll call it a day. And I'm going to have to let it harden as usual. But this is how it looks with the hood on. These are lavors, they call them. Here, these would have been on the real vehicle. And what they do is they allow air to flow through to the engine compartment here. Okay, that's all this is. That was their only function, is letting the air from the outside get in to help cool the engine. Okay, and they were operational. Okay, on the regular vehicle, and this still hasn't dried pretty much. Well, yeah, this one is. But anyway, as you can see, that's the total look of it sitting on top of the vehicle. It isn't so obscenely large with the hood scoop coming out, and the big manifold on top of the blower that usually protrudes on a regular car. Okay, so this is pretty much complete, and we are done this month with the regular, I guess, ability, not ability, but our regular need to honor, tribute the armed forces. Okay, and so that's where we are with this guy here. We'll call this one complete. We'll put it over here. I'm gonna show you kind of all of them. So this was the Navy. Okay, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that was the Navy. I'm sorry, I said Navy. This was the Marines. Okay. Next, give you one more look at it. Okay. Very nice. And this is a '67 Impala. Okay. Now, military muscle at its finest. Okay. Go U.S.A. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is the, we're going to go backwards and use the, right here, this was the Air Force. Okay. This was the tribute to the Thunderbirds segment of its squadron, U.S.A.F., United States Air Force. Kind of looks like an airplane. Okay. And that's that guy for the Air Force. Then we got this was the Navy, as you remember. This was for an aircraft carrier / submarine / aircraft carrier with the runway on the back and the numbers coming off. And this was a '67. That car I just showed you was a '67 Mustang GT 500. This was a 1967 GTO Pontiac. Okay, so I gave you a Ford, a Pontiac, and a Chevy so far, and then and this was the submarine portion uh, with the black on the side, and then the nose of the submarine being black. Okay, and then of course different logos and everything. All right, and then last but not least, put this over here. It's going to be the First Cavalry Division, baby. That's that guy right there. This was got a roll bar inside. This was our first one we started at the beginning of the month. In my unit, the First Cavalry Division. This is a 1967 Chevelle. Okay, all of them. Needless to say, if you ain't figured it out, I did it all in for the years of 1967. Okay, and this was a very I'm honored to do it for the military, and I was happy to build vehicles for the tribute for the. This happens to be Veterans Month. Okay, so me being a veteran, this was an honor for me, and I wanted to just kind of show my appreciation for the military and what they do for us. Okay, and that should be it. Okay, next week we're probably going to go with. I had it over here. I don't know what happened to it, but it was a vet. I think I'm going to do a vet, but I'm going to make it kind of futuristic. Okay, I'll put it that way. So stay tuned for us next week. I'll get started on it for the month of December. You'll see it, and we'll keep moving forward, doing different types of things that we want to do, and then I'll probably throw a little Christmas motto in there too. Okay, just so we'll see. All right, and thank you very much for tuning in with us and giving us your spare time. This is AJ saying, subscribe to us, please. At Muscle, it's an @ symbol, ampersand, musclemodelcars.com. When you go to YouTube, you can go to YouTube, and then if you just want to log in or don't want to log in, put the @ symbol before musclemodelcars.com. You can use a space or whatever, but you got to put that @ symbol in front of it, that ampersand. So that little squiggly little A, okay? And then you'll find us on there and look at some of the models. And please subscribe. And want to thank my daughter for the gift. Actually, right there, you can see it back there. That's a GT. I call it Eleanor. Okay, if you saw the movie Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage, he had one of these guys here. That was his nemesis. I call it. It was hard to steal. So anyway, that was a gift from my daughter Raquel and her husband Raymond. I appreciate it. Thank you all very much for that gift. For my birthday, I happen to be born on Veterans Day, actually. So she brought that for me, and just picked it up doing our Thanksgiving. Okay, so I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Didn't eat too much, and hope you guys keep tuning in with us and watch and see where we're going to go next with this. I think it's a CR7 or something, C7. I can't remember, but it's a vet. I do know that, and it's like a more up to date. All of these bills were for from 1967, so it was started with this guy for the First Cavalry Division, and then secondly we did the Air Force with the white Mustang, Ford Mustang. This was a Chevelle, and then Malibu, basically. And then we went 3 was Pontiac, 1967 Pontiac GTO. And then the fourth one, this last one was a 1967 um, Chevy Impala 4-door. It was a 4-door. It's the only 4-door I did in this tribute, and so I wanted to kind of give you, because there's a SS, a 2-door that's an SS. I got that one too, but I'm not going to do that one right back to back. I'll keep that one. But the next one we're going to get started with, I think, is pretty quick. That one probably be pretty quick, being a vet. Don't have that much interior or anything, so we'll see how that goes. The engine and everything. So we're going to try to go with that next. And thank you again for being with us, along with subscribing on musclemodelcars.com. And you guys have a good afternoon. Take care.